Hello curl friends, welcome back to my channel. Special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and it's wonderful to have you join me today. Today we are doing my first this or that of 2026. By no means is it my first this or that, but it's been a while since I filmed one of these, so I'm hoping I remember all the steps that I want to include that I usually include. Today we are looking at what I call 2 cream gel style products. Now that's not necessarily how they refer to themselves, but from my experience and just how it reacts with my hair, I'm going to consider these both cream gels. And the 2 products that we're looking at today are from Ouidad, their Coil Infusion line, and Curlmix, their Flaxseed gel. Like I said, I know they call it a flaxseed gel, but we'll get more into this as we begin applying the product and everything. First off though, let's do a product shot so you can see these side by side and get into a little bit more of what a cream gel is supposed to do for your hair, and then we'll begin applying the products. A cream gel is a versatile hybrid of styling product that blends the moisturizing and softening benefits of a hair cream with the hold and frizzing control of a styling gel, offering nourishment, definition, and shine, and a softer finish than traditional gels. It's perfect for defining curls and taming frizz and adding volume. Alright, so the first one we're going to go in with on my left side, because I already re-wet this hair down, is going to be the Ouidad Coil Infusion Give a Boost Style and Shaping Gel Cream. Quite a long title. I usually just call this the Ouidad Coil Infusion Gel Cream. The Ouidad Coil Infusion Give a Boost Styling and Shaping Gel Cream retails for $30 at Ulta. The best of both worlds, it says. This is a lightweight formula. It gives curls both hold and definition of a gel with the nourishment of a cream. It quickly coats the curls to lock in and shape and hold while adding essential moisture with shea butter and sunflower extract to fight frizz. Curls are left touchable and defined that day and beyond. The directions say to apply to wet hair from roots to ends, use fingers to distribute evenly and style as desired. Air dry or diffuse for an enhanced curl pattern. Alright, so I know we already did a product shot, but at the time that I'm filming this, I haven't done the product shot, and I just kind of want to refamiliarize myself with these products a little bit more. Now, I shouldn't be too rusty on them because I actually used both of these products last year, just about a year ago, and so I have to keep in mind, I have a lot less hair, and this is the amount that I am going in with. Is that going to focus? Okay, there we go. That's the amount that I'm going in with. It kind of blends into my hands. I know you couldn't see that too well probably. There's a little bit of tack there, but not a ton. And what I was saying though is I have a lot less hair from what I did the time before, but these are just as a single styler. Last time when I used this product, I used it as a single styler and really liked my results, by the way. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave that linked up here in the cards. Actually, I think it's on this side. I'm not really sure. So like I was saying, I used this as a single styler before, and I just want to distribute this all the way through. I will also use my bounce curl brush to style my curls. But I just want to make sure it's fully distributed. I just like to tend to do this with my Tangle Teezer a little bit more. I kind of don't feel like there's anything in my hair really at this point, but I'm going to brush style my hair. It's been a while since I've done this, so I kind of forget the steps that I go through for brush styling my hair with the center part because it is different from what I normally do. So bear with me. Okay, so normally I would brush style this with 3 sections, like my whole head of hair, 3 sections kind of including the back and sides, but I'm dividing, like I just have 1 section in the back is what I'm trying to say. So I feel like there's too much hair to just do this whole side all together. So I'm just going to try to do this, break this up into sections a bit more. See how this is clumping my hair. Like I said, it didn't feel like I had much product on my hair. And if I feel like I need to go in with more, I might. Just like scrunching a little bit more in on top like you might do for a gel at the end of a styling routine or something like that. We'll see. I don't want to go in with too much though. That's always a trouble with fine hair curlies. You can easily go to just the right amount to way too much in a very short amount of time. In a very small amount of product, it seems like sometimes. Alright, I'm going to skip ahead till I have most of this brush styled, and I will come back and I'll just show you how this looks like it's curling and what my thoughts are. Okay, I have made the executive decision. By the way, this is what my curls look like before I go in with any more, because I have made the executive decision to go in with just a little bit more product. Like I said, I just don't feel anything in my hair. I didn't watch back my video, so I don't know quite how the feeling was. I don't remember that off the top of my head. I just remember my results. So I'm going in with just a pea-sized amount here, and I think I'm going to need a little water in my hands just to help distribute that. I'm just going to kind of glaze that over, try and focus on the top areas and then on the ends, scrunching that in. Okay, so far so good. I'd say that looks pretty decent, but it's always hard to tell until, you know, the very end once it's dry. So let's move on to the other side. So on my right side, we are going in with the Curlmix Wash and Go Flaxseed Gel. I am going in with the light hold version. It says the Curlmix Wash and Go Flaxseed Gel Light Hold retails for $26. I got this information off of Google AI, and it says it is a flaxseed-based styling gel for wavy to curly hair, offering a soft, touchable definition with minimal cast, focusing on moisture from ingredients like jojoba oil for balance without weighing hair down. It's ideal for fine textures and those wanting natural movement. The directions say after applying equal parts moisture and gel, finger comb your curls. Now hands off, don't touch. Use a diffuser or hooded dryer to set your curls until completely dry. For best results, do not air dry. Wear a bonnet at night to protect your curls. Now I did want to make note that I did use the Google AI because on the back there is no description on this whatsoever. Just the directions, which that is where I got the directions from. And then my other one that I usually use, if there isn't much of a description on the bottle, sometimes I'll go to the website. I find their website very confusing and just hard to navigate through in ways that I want to find information. And then I would go to Ulta would be my second choice. I didn't like any of those descriptions, so I just Googled it, hoping that I'd find something, and I thought that that was a pretty good description. Anyways, here is the amount I'm going in with. You can see this one's a little bit creamier. This one feels a little bit softer in my hands. This one I don't feel as much tack in my hands as I did the Ouidad one. So this one I feel like might be a little bit more moisturizing just from what I can remember, but I'm not entirely sure. I have a little bit left over on my hands. You can't see it really, but I can feel it. I'm going to wipe that off at this point because I don't want to go in with too much, and I might go in and scrunch a little bit more. We'll see. Just brushing this through. Wow, I can't talk. I'm trying to be as consistent with both sides as possible. And I'm also trying to do this in a timely fashion so that my other side doesn't dry down too much. I might like re-wet this side a little bit more and just give it a little scrunch as I go. Oh, you know what I need to do? I'm just realizing this at this point. I need to clean this brush out. So I'm going to pin my hair up and then I will go do that. All right, after I cleaned my brush out, I did also just re-wet my other side of my hair like I had talked about and give it a slight scrunch because I could start to feel things just ever so slightly starting to want to set. And that's not what I want just yet. I want these to be, both sides to be on equal footing as possible. Just going to try to divide this a little bit more. When I was brush styling the other side, I realized I probably didn't need to break these up, like these side chunks here in my brush styling, but like I said, I do want to be as consistent as possible. Now I was saying on the Ouidad side how I really couldn't feel the product in there. And at this point, I don't really feel the product, but as I was adding it, I felt like I could feel more moisture to this side, maybe just a little bit. And I guess I will say I could still feel maybe a little bit more moisture or hydration to this side of my hair than I did on the Ouidad side. That might have to do with just like the consistency of the product. This definitely has more slip to it. The other side I didn't have a problem getting slip through it, but I just feel like this product is more slippery, probably because it's more creamy feeling and everything like that, which is crazy because, you know, it calls itself a flaxseed gel. I've never tried just a pure flaxseed gel, like a homemade flaxseed gel, which you can do. I'm not that much of a DIYer, at least not with hair products. But I know they look different than that because I've seen videos on it. from what I've seen on videos, a flaxseed gel is more of a clearer type consistency, maybe not completely clear, with a little bit of like an amber color to it, but definitely more clear than this Curlmix. All right, I'm going to do the rest of this off camera, and I will be back as I'm finishing up, and we'll just talk over anything quickly that I need to discuss at that point. All right, I have this side done. I do feel like as I said before, a little bit more product on this side, not a ton. Just going to, I feel like I got an eyelash in my eye, not fun. Spray this down a little bit more. I am going to put just the tiniest bit more product in. One, to be consistent like I was with the other side, and two, like I just worry, like if I'm like, oh, this side doesn't have as much, once I dry my hair, I'm like, oh, this side doesn't have as much hold as this side. Was it because I didn't go in with more product? I don't feel like I need to go in with more on this side necessarily, but we're going to. Just a tiny pea-sized amount, and I don't feel like I need any water to spread this one out. All right, so let's take one last quick side by side of them while they're wet. This is the Curlmix side, and this is the Ouidad side. All right, so far I can't tell too much of a difference in looks. Let me go diffuse this, and I'll be back and I'll show you the results. All right, guys, I am back with my hair fully diffused and styled, and I thought I was recording earlier, and I did a little something to this hair to help it. I'll explain here in a minute, but yeah, I wasn't recording. I'm so frustrated with myself. I'll just tell you actually right now at this point what I did do. I went in with a pump and a half of this Verb Ghost Oil. It's like a serum just to help tame some of the frizz and flyaways without totally altering the style or anything like that. And let's take a closer look at the side. This is the Ouidad side, and this is the Curlmix side. Now, I will say, you can already see on the Ouidad side, let's just address this side first. There is a fair amount of frizz here, okay? And that is the reason why, well, I probably would have gone in with this serum anyways, because these are both very soft holds. But I did want to just tame a little bit of this anyway, so I went in with the serum on both sides. Now, as I was saying, there is quite a bit of significant frizz here. It's not as much concentrated up here on the very top part or on the ends. Those look pretty good. It's just like this mid area, and that tells me I probably didn't get enough product there, because if you remember when I was applying this, I did go in with a little bit more, and I focused it up here to try to tame any flyaways and on the ends, and I did not go in with it really on this mid area. I probably should have. I'm still adjusting with this haircut as to how much product I need, and I haven't used a styler like this where it's just kind of like a single styler. That's more of a cream gel type styler, so I'm still trying to learn this, and I feel like I should have gone in with more. I should have trusted when I said that I didn't feel any product, but you know, you live and learn, and I know I've liked it in the past, but I know it's also been a very soft hold in the past. Anyways, so it isn't quite as defined up here, but I do like the definition on the underneath side. I do think that this looks really good, so it tells me that this has potential. I just didn't quite use it correctly. As I was saying, this is very soft. When I was drying my hair though, this side did take just a little bit longer to dry. Not a terrible amount, but just a slight bit longer. And both sides actually dried pretty fast anyways. The moisture on this feels good. Like I said though, I typically get that for softer holds. I don't struggle with moisture. Even in the drier weather, typically I don't struggle with moisture. If it does start to get dry, it's not till like day 3 or 4. And usually it's not too bad even at those points. So let's go on to the Curlmix side here. I have good definition, decent definition I should say, on the top and on the underside. I actually like my definition though a little bit better on the Ouidad side, on the underside. Not on the top, but on the underside. I just feel like the curls have sprung up just a little bit more on the Ouidad side. So that tells me if I would have applied the side better, like I said, I might have liked the results better. But I do remember when I did my Curlmix video as well, I really had great definition throughout. It was very soft, but I had fantastic definition. So in a similar fashion, definition's pretty good at this point. It feels very soft. Once again, there's no cast whatsoever. Moisture feels good. There is significantly less frizz. I think I've already kind of touched on that. Significantly less frizz on this side. There is still frizz, definitely still frizz here, but it's not nearly as much so on the Ouidad side. Let me show you what the back of this hair looks like. Another thing to note, both of these have curled up about the same as far as length. I do just have this like one random piece of hair that didn't get the curling memo, but otherwise like they're hanging the same length and everything. Overall, this is pretty much what I expected from both of these cream gel like stylers, and I hope Curlmix doesn't get mad at me for calling them a cream gel because they call themselves a flaxseed gel. But like I said, it's just from my experience and the consistency that it comes across to me reminds me of a cream gel. All that to say though, both of these sides of hair have turned out pretty much like I expected, minus the fact that I just didn't apply it quite right here. All that to say though, we are going to check back tomorrow and we're going to see how both of these sides are holding up. At that point, I will also determine which side I like best. Let me know which side you think that you like best. I'm going to be out and about today. I've got some groceries to get. I'm going to be running a few other errands. And so this hair will definitely be lived in with taking coats on and off and such like that. But we're going to see how this looks tomorrow. I guess we'll talk about it more then. All right, friends, we are back for the this or that. And this is what the Ouidad side is looking like. And I was thinking as I was starting to film this, that this is, by the way, the Curlmix side. This is what it's called, the flaxseed gel. But I was thinking, I forgot to do my side-by-side shots when I show each side for Instagram. I forgot to do that yesterday. I am rusty on this. Okay, let's take a look at the back of the hair then. Now to get my opinion on each side. I feel like the Ouidad side, I feel like the frizz hasn't grown any at all. I mean, it stayed the same. It was frizzy to begin with, but I don't feel like it's really spread or anything. Some of the curls are a little more wonky and misshapen. That has to do a lot with it being like a lighter hold product. And there is a little bit more frizz on the back here, but that's to be expected, especially in winter time. But overall, like, this frizz hasn't grown anymore, which I'm happy to see. So other than the wonky curls, like, it still feels good. It still feels like plenty of moisture, which I'm not surprised. I seriously believe that these products will last me all the way to 4. I could probably stretch it even longer just because of my curl type, my hair type. But overall, I really don't think there's been a whole lot's changed. Just a few wonky curls and a tiny bit more frizz down here. But anyways, moving on to the Curlmix side, I do feel like, once again, I have some of those wonky curls. Once again, it has to do with the fact I believe that this is a softer hold. Like, this area is just kind of like, what happened here? She's just a little sad, looking a little misshapen, but we love her anyways. But I do feel like the curls have stretched out a bit more on this side, which I don't remember that being the case when I did my Curlmix video last year. I actually thought it shrunk up more last year, but I also did have the leave-in conditioner to it as well. It could have been how I slept on it. I slept with a bonnet on with my hair kind of up and everything like that. So I don't know, but I don't feel like there's been too much more frizz developed, just like the misshapen curls and a little bit more stretched out. Like, I do think the Curlmix side is hanging a little bit longer today than the Ouidad side. It might be a little bit hard to tell with the like plaid shirt and everything, but that's just my opinion. Can anybody else see it? Does anyone else see the same things that I am seeing with my hair? Overall, that makes it actually a little bit more difficult to decide, because going into this, I was certain I was going to like the Ouidad side better. After day 1's results, I was like, I think I like the Curlmix side better. Now at this point, I'm like, what do I like better? I don't know. It's so tough to choose for some of these this or that, because this is definitely one of them, but this one in particular, I feel like either of these sides haven't lived up to their full potential. I feel like when I did them individually with my whole hair, I feel like they definitely looked better. But let's see, I think overall, let's see the feeling, they feel almost identical, really. Actually, they do feel identical. I'm gonna say overall, I like the Ouidad side a little bit better. Did I like it better on day one? No. But I think overall how it has held up, I do like it better. And I'm still going to choose this Ouidad side, I feel like, because I think day one could have been better if it hadn't been for my fault. I don't think it was the product's fault. Either way, I think either of these products are really good if you like a softer hold type of a product, especially like a one and done soft hold product. These would be great for you. If you have finer hair, just be careful with how much you go in with. I'm going to say if you have very fine hair, the Ouidad one is probably going to be a little bit better option, but still it may not be like the best option for you. I think Ouidad makes other products, like they have a volumized jelly, I believe. It's kind of in like a goldish tan type packaging. That one might be a better option for you. But I will say I do think that might be another good this or that comparison. This Coil Infusion that I used plus that Ouidad volumizing jelly, I don't know, that's another idea. But as I was saying, either of these could be good for, I think, a wide variety of hair if you like that softer feel. If you don't, if you like a harder hold, just probably steer clear of these. Or you can layer them up with maybe a harder holding product, like use this as your moisturizing base, because to me this definitely does have moisturization in it. I don't need another cream or leave-in underneath of these, but I could go in with a harder holding gel on top, and that could definitely give me more longevity and everything and control to my curls. So that's another option that you could do. Altogether, I'd love to know what you guys think of this. Which side do you like best? What are your preferences? I'd love to hear from you. And until I see you again in the next video, have a wonderful day. Bye.